The murder of Ronnie Gorlin on July 22, 1975, and the murder of Elyse Rapp on July 30th, 1975, sparked immediate concern from law enforcement, as both victims were found in the same canal, both with flat tires and vehicles parked at the 163rd Street shopping center. Both victims were Jewish, and both of their cars had E license plates, indicating that they were rented or leased. Police strongly suspected the killer's modus operandi was to deflate the tires of the victims' cars and lure them by offering to take them to a service station. Police cautioned women who received similar offers of help to call the homicide division. While they received many calls and tips, no suspect was ever identified. At the 163rd Street Mall, the management addressed the negative publicity that had arisen after the murders. The mall had 24-hour security patrols and was also patrolled regularly by Metro-Dade officers in marked and unmarked cars. In an anonymous letter written to the Miami Herald from an employee at the shopping center, they complained about inadequate lighting in the parking lots. The manager of the shopping center, John Volino, stated that the shopping center was installing additional lights and taking precautions to ensure safety. By 1975, the shopping mall was 20 years old. Following the murders, the Dade County medical examiner, Dr. Ronald Wright, believed that a psychopathic killer was on the loose in South Florida. There was a progression of violence, he noted, as both Rapp and Gorland had been beaten unconscious before they were sexually assaulted, killed, and dumped into the canal near US 27 and Palmetto Expressway in North Dade County. Dr. Wright described the killer as, quote, the same kind of person as Jack the Ripper, and I believe he is rapidly accumulating a number of victims. We can be reasonably certain that all five had enough similarities in their deaths that the coincidences should not be discounted. Close quote. A profile was created describing the killer as a white male in his 20s, relatively physically attractive, and an all-American type who was well-dressed. There was also a chance that the murderer was married and was a sexual psychopath. Law enforcement also believed that there was a high chance that someone had witnessed his first contacts with the victims. Dr. Wright believed that at least 5 women were killed by the same man, and 3 others, who were killed in 1974, may have been victims as well. Detective Charles Museline of the Dade County Homicide Department suggested that the killer may have started in the western United States and made his way east. Detective Erwin Carlstedt of Sonoma County, California, was somewhat skeptical but stated, quote, all our girls looked alike and Washington's looked like ours, close quote. The Miami News offered a $4,000 reward for information, which grew with donations from anonymous sources. Police even reached out to convicted sex offenders at the South Florida State Hospital for information to try to explain the killer's psychology. All of the men agreed that the killer was unlikely to turn himself in. The reward from the Miami News then grew to $6,000, and dozens of people wrote to the paper. All of these clues were turned over to the police. The letters described similar events, suspicious persons, and suggestions on how to find the killer. However, despite the intense public interest in the cases and law enforcement's tireless efforts, the flat tire murders went unsolved. Thank you for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and leave your comments below. Thank you again for listening.